be considered a youth icon and influencing people is always good. But this is something that's important because I can create an impression in people's minds that can make a change to the world, to our country, to our thought processes that will last a lifetime. I mean, if a kid gets influenced by something that I say, or I take a pledge and I say I believe in this, if somebody's getting influenced by what I do, these are the kind of things that I would want to affiliate with. So I'm really grateful to be given this opportunity. I won't go into the jargon about the numbers and how many people have been affected, because at the end of the day, I'm a citizen of this country and this world, and I would like to leave behind a brighter future for my children, my family, and it stems from doing things like this and keeping the phone on silent. That also helps sometimes, which also contributes to a better life. I think she's not going to listen to me. So, how nice. It just comes down to, I thought I'd say a lot of things, but it's really overwhelming to be in a position like this where you can influence people. I would just like to pledge my support and say that I'm going to be there 8:30 to 9:30 on the 29th, doing my bit for this world, for this country, and influencing as many people as genuinely possible. So thank you for having me here once again. I will be wherever I am. Unfortunately, our lives are such, we ourselves don't know what we're about to do at what time, and things get delayed back and forth. But wherever I am, I know for a fact I'll be doing. I've made a pledge. It's a commitment, and you fulfill your commitment. And more than that, it's not only about that hour alone. It's going to continue for the rest of my life. It's been there in the past as well. It's about small things like saving water, electricity, stuff like that happens in your daily life. I plant as many trees and plants as possible, which is something my mother was very fond of doing, so I've continued doing that. And my sister is very fond of it, at home and even outside. Where my sister started this in school, and we've tried to continue it. That's for me very important. Greenery is getting cut in our country by leaps and bounds. So that's something that since childhood I've been very intrigued by. I would like to have a garden that I can continue garden. I know it sounds like I'm retiring, but I've always had this thing in Bombay. It's impossible to have a garden here. So we have a small terrace upstairs where we continue planting as many plants and small trees as possible.
Government provides, in every state, the government provides subsidies for people who want to adopt renewable energy appliances in their homes. So every government has a certain amount of subsidy that they give. So even if you want to produce, put up a solar panel in your house, there is a list of permissions that's available with the municipality of every state. And also there are fixed subsidies on every state that as an individual you can get from the government if you were to take on renewable energy appliances or products in your own homes. Larger products like solar PV panels and stuff like that.
I think it's something that you can't quantify in terms of what we've achieved or what we're trying to achieve by keeping the lights off for 60 minutes. It's about educating and inculcating this habit for a long-term perspective. So I think it'll be very naive of us to quantify it in figures and terms.
Quantify was only the static.
No, correct. So what you were also saying, how's it affected? It's very difficult to know. I mean, there might be a 6-year-old kid today who sees this and gets affected and passes that information forward or influences himself or his friends to do it. I mean, that's where it all begins. The more people you keep influencing, you're not going to feel it today. You'll feel it after 20 years when our resources, which are finite, will start running out. The idea is not to think about what we are achieving right now. It's a long-term perspective. So in 7 years, what they've achieved can't be really put. I think numbers is great to have, but you've got to see the traction that it's got over, like what the Hyatt GM was just telling us, that it started off with a lukewarm response. It caught up because of the media, the people, and the kind of numbers that are being spoken of are unprecedented anyway. In today's day and age, who has the time to do this? People are making that effort to begin with an hour. It takes a lot out of institutions to do that. It takes a lot out of government. They've had government places that have switched on the lights for an hour. So it's a very commendable thing that's happening. It takes time. I think 7 years is not enough. It might take even more to influence a bigger section of people. So it's our small way of starting out and keeping at it. Water essentially we tend to undermine the lack of water in this country. अगर आप छोटे शहरों में जाओगे, you'll realize electricity, water are things that are primary in this country that we don't get enough of. So water would be the second thing that comes to my mind as a resource that we can try and save from. I mean, we do it every day subconsciously. As I do. When you're brushing your teeth, you switch off the water. If you're taking a shower, you take it as quickly as possible. Don't keep the water on, stuff like that. So it stems from within. Yeah. It's not about that 1 hour alone. See, that's their way of taking people up to realizing where we are heading. We we're heading towards a difficult situation. So I think water would be the second.
To know more about your favorite superstars, subscribe to Bollywood Wala now and hit like if you like this story.